right, welcome to our first annual United Way TCCL Kickoff. I'm excited. My name is John Anderson. I am the facility director at TCCL, and so this is my first time doing a fundraiser like this, but I'm excited about it. I was somewhat voluntold, but that's okay. We were in a CXT meeting. That's a customer experience meeting, and so I was trying to find someone else to drive this campaign because the one that was doing it before, Lynsy, was that she decided she would kind of. She decided she had went as far as she could go, and so actually she said, we need somebody else, and I was just trying to ask the question to see if any of my other team members would be able to pick up the ball, and I just asked question, what does this involve? And it's like, John, you should do this. You're the one. You should take this over. And so that's how I got started. But but that's all cool and fine. I'm used to working in the community and working with organizations that help in the community. I've never worked with United Way before, but I have worked with Red Cross quite a bit. I've actually donated some time with them working on their facility. I've given blood there, many pints of blood, somewhere around 50 pints of blood, somewhere around 6 gallons of blood I've given over the last 25 years, so I'm a big donator. Yes, that's a good time to clap. Because giving blood, I don't really care for giving blood. I mean, I don't care for the needle. Actually, every time I go in to get stuck by the needle, it's I'm very nervous about it, and I'm like, oh, come on, hurry up, let's get this over. But anyway, I'm ready to turn all of that energy towards United Way. So all the energy that I've given towards Red Cross, it's time for United Way, and so I'm back behind that. And again, I'm a big community person and want to volunteer, want to help, and so this is a great opportunity for me to do this. So up first, we will have our first speaker slash presentation. It's going to be Mike Logger. Did I say that right? I know I just asked you how to say your name 5 minutes ago and I already forgot. So Mike Logger, he's going to come up and he's going to give us a presentation and tell us more about United Way.
Just want to first start by saying, John, thank you so much for working on getting this set up. We're so grateful to be part of a partner with TCCL. If it weren't for individuals like you, we would not be able to provide the support to these nonprofit partners. You'll see those in your brochure. We'll discuss those a little bit more here in a minute. As John said, my name is Mike Logger. I have the pleasure of being able to work with the 59 non-partner profits nonprofit partners during their campaigns. I get to work with county, city, so I've worked quite a bit with Kim Johnson. She's wonderful. She's actually one of my team members on our committee this year, so I'm very lucky to have her as part of the team and also the support of your organization. That being said, I'd just like to briefly share that we support over 50 nonprofit partners in the community and about 150 programs within those actual nonprofits themselves. So what we actually do every year for this campaign is go out, we try to raise money. We work with organizations from big to small, corporate to non-partner or nonprofits themselves to raise this money. We work with business leaders, community leaders to ensure that the money that we're raising is being effectively put back into the community. We do that by working with a community investment panel. That community investment panel exists of about 170 volunteers from the community. So it's not individuals that we go out and say, we want you to do this, we want you. It's actually people who are raising their hands. They come in every winter and they actually go into these nonprofits and they sit down, they look at their financials, they sit down, they interview individuals being served by these nonprofits. So that way, when the nonprofits are telling us, hey, this is what we're doing, we're following up to make sure that is actually indeed happening. So because of that community investment panel, we're really able to reassure that your gifts of time and money are being put to good use. The brochures I discussed a little bit with you, and if you don't have one, I can get one to you. In these brochures, you will find a few different pieces of information. The first piece of information that I love to point out are these list of our nonprofits. These nonprofits are the organizations that benefit from the actual fundraising that we do every year. You'll also see that there's contact information. I ask that you keep these in your desk drawer, maybe in your glove box, because you never know when somebody might need help. Maybe your neighbor has experienced the loss of a loved one. Tristesse Grief Center's information is listed in here. Maybe a friend or family member has lost their health insurance. Morton Comprehensive Health information is in here. So please use these brochures as a resource. If you don't feel comfortable referring anybody to these nonprofits, what I suggest instead is using the 211 information that's listed. How many of you are familiar with 211? Great. We now own 211 at United Way. So that actually happened in June, so it is actually one of our programs now. So that is another thing that your nonprofit dollars, when we do this fundraising, goes toward is actually making 211 work. So thank you again. If you want to know more about United Way or have additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, Mike Lager. What I would like to do now is play our United Way video.
Welcome to the 99th Tulsa Area United Way Fall Fundraising Drive. I'm Kathy Taylor, and I'm honored to be here with you and my campaign co-chair, Carl Niemeyer.
Thanks to your generosity, the United Way supports nearly 60 organizations that provide life-changing services to people in need, from education to health, from basic needs to financial stability. The United Way covers it all across its 6-county service area.
But United Way is more than just a fundraiser. It's a leader, catalyst, and a collaborator. Throughout the year, it brings together people and resources to address the most pressing needs in our community. And it creates innovative solutions that address root causes to critical social problems.
In the next few minutes, you will see inspiring stories that show how your gift to the United Way makes a real difference.
Jasmine had big plans for high school, but when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, she fell behind in her studies. Thanks to Tulsa Area United Way's support of collaboration grant recipient and sustainability partner City Year Tulsa, Jasmine found the extra help and encouragement she needed to get back on track. City Year Tulsa sends AmeriCorps members to under-resourced schools to support students like Jasmine, one of the many students who have benefited from City Year's mentoring and tutoring services. Jasmine said that having an additional adult in her corner and a few extra hours of tutoring after school improved her academic performance and confidence.
When I started high school, I was like, I can do this. Like, I'm trying to do straight A's all year. Once COVID hit, I was like, wasn't motivated or anything. It was a very dark time for me. But once we came back, I had my teachers, my friends, all the other support, including City Year.
With your support, plus City Year Tulsa and Tulsa Area United Way on her side, Jasmine returned to the classroom, determined to become McLean High's 2023 valedictorian. In the process, she earned a full-ride university scholarship.
I worked myself to get into that position. I did it. I did more than what other people thought I could do.
It's vital for United Way's partner organizations to focus on their direct service work. That's why, in addition to funding, United Way provides professional training and pro bono services for nonprofits like the Center for Employment Opportunities. With United Way's backing, CEO continues to operate efficiently and give people like Mercedes a job and a chance to rebuild her life. About a year into the program, Mercedes is a work crew supervisor, is reunited with her family, and is an inspiration to those around her.
My life before incarceration was a vicious cycle. The only thing that I really was consistent with was the lifestyle that led me to incarceration. Upon being released, I was determined that I was going to break that cycle. And so I was not prepared for what seemed like every door of opportunity for employment to be shut in my face. Very frustrated, I Googled felon-friendly jobs, and the Center for Employment Opportunities webpage came up. And I started to scroll through and look at just the images and read the success stories of the other people. And I remember looking at that and thinking, this is me.
Mercedes' story is just one example of how CEO has placed hundreds of people into employment. It's also just one example of how United Way mobilizes communities so that everyone, everywhere, has pathways to success.
I recently had my first solid year in a rent house with me and my daughter, and that's something that I've never experienced before.
With a strong track record in mobilizing communities into action, United Way is more than just a funder. For instance, United Way's ability to amplify advocacy messages, like those from sustainability partner the ARC of Oklahoma, moves the needle on human rights issues important to people with disabilities. Lynsy Spoon is a fierce advocate for disability rights and a board member of the ARC. Lynsy's cerebral palsy may affect her movement and speech, but that didn't stop her from pursuing her passions. Her YouTube show called Makeup and Mobility shares her beauty tips and inspirational stories with thousands of viewers.
The reason why I advocate is because I find such beauty in it. But it's not only bills and legislation that we're advocating for. It's people's everyday quality of life that we're advocating for. What inspires me to keep going in advocacy is those moments where I've been told that I can do something. It's about proving people wrong and improving the system. You don't realize how many issues and how many barriers to society that people with disabilities, whether it be intellectual, whether it be physical disabilities, face on an everyday basis.
Just seeing how your gift to the Tulsa Area United Way transforms lives, how it gives hope, dignity, and opportunity to people who face challenges every day.
So, on behalf of Kathy, Lynsy, and everyone who is moved by your generosity, thank you for living and giving united.
And because of individuals like you that we're able to provide that funding. As a matter of fact, 55% of what we raise every year come from individual givers like you. So yes, we have large organizations who are able to do donations and support us, but half of the programming that we fund would not be available if it weren't for you guys. So thank you so much. That being said, I want to invite one of the programs and organizations that you heard about up to speak, Miss Elizabeth Edwards from City Year. Thank you.
Hello, thank you everyone for having me today. Like Mike said, I'm Elizabeth Edwards. I work at City Year Tulsa, and I am here representing the team members who are out in schools today. So forgive me for just being me and not bringing the real people who do all the work every day. City Year is an education nonprofit. We work specifically in schools that are typically under-resourced and furthest away from opportunity. Like I think all of the partner agencies and many of us, John included, John, yeah? Yes, John included. We all believe in our community. You guys are the Tulsa City County Library. I know that you have a big community that you participate in. Personally, I love the library. My kids went to a Bixby Library STEM event where we got to pop frozen bubbles, I think, with TRSA there. And, you know, this summer, always all of the library activities and the big opportunity to keep learning alive with my children through your very incentivizing and rewarding program. My kids are very motivated by that, so thank you for all of you who do that work. It really does make a difference. And the same thing with your giving. It makes a huge difference. Like Mike said, it's 50% of what they do helps us, not just the big organizations that are giving, you know, millions. That can sound really intimidating. That's not what this is about. City Year, we actually recruit one of our well-known programs, you saw in the video, 18 to 25-year-olds to come and work full-time in Tulsa Public Schools. We're in 12 schools here in Tulsa Public Schools, and those 18 to 25-year-olds, they are there before students get there, before teachers get there to greet students. They are there full-time in classes to tutor and mentor students and help them be academically successful and attend class and sometimes be redirected maybe when they're a little distracted, as we all get sometimes. And then they lead after school programs. And all of that is made possible through your giving. But it's even better. These 18 to 25-year-olds that are serving every day, they stay, they work here in Tulsa after their year of service. They teach in Tulsa. They work at other nonprofits in Tulsa. They become leaders at businesses in Tulsa. But as core members or City Year AmeriCorps members, what they did during their time each year is that we asked them to participate in the United Way campaign as well. The These young people are making about $20,000 to $25,000 a year through what we call a living stipend. It's part of the AmeriCorps program, and everywhere we ask them to give. We're certainly not asking them to give a large dollar amount, but we're asking them to participate, because when you participate in the process, you're part of that community. And so we're proud that at least every year I've been here that we've run a campaign with our core members, they have given 100%. Mind you, that might all be different dollar amounts, but we're really proud that they understand that Tulsa is about community and Tulsa is about participating. So I encourage you all, help John. You don't have to get a needle prick this year. All you have to do is think about that coffee you didn't drink this morning, or that donut you didn't pick up at daylight this morning, and instead take those few dollars or those hundreds of dollars or whatever you have the opportunity to give and help support United Way so that we can all be a part of making a difference. And so I really want to thank you all for having us here. I am responsible to ask if you know any 18 to 25-year-olds that don't quite know what they're doing this year and they would like free college. I do have some things that I'll leave here for you all to think about referring them so they can come and work with us and support students and earn a free OU or OSU college degree if you're a big fan of that. So happy to answer any questions, and thank you for Living United.
Thank you so much for coming to agree to share your information. Both Elizabeth and I will be around after this next presentation to answer any questions, to give you any information that you may have not yet received. What I would like to do now is invite Amanda Coburn up to speak to you guys a little bit about how the county program runs for the United Way campaign. Amanda, come on up.
Good morning. I'm not quite tall enough to be back here, too short. So I want to thank Lynsy for all of her many years of running the Libraries campaign. The Libraries campaign is one of the best campaigns we have. You all are a very giving group, and we really appreciate it. I do have an award for Lynsy for last year's campaign. So the library's always been one of our top campaigns. We appreciate all of your work. So you all are in the county's group. So we have the library, so the health department, and TEMA, which are both city-county, all three are city-county entities that we've gladly accepted into the county program, which includes all of our highways, our levy districts, the buildings, the courthouse, all those departments. You all are included there, and you all are the top campaign. So we do appreciate it. We thank you for your service. We know that you all work out here with the people that the 59 partner agencies help as well. So we thank you so much. And John, I look forward to working with you this year, and congratulations, and thank you for having this kickoff this morning.
This committee was put together very quickly because the campaign, the fall campaign, is fairly short, and I was voluntold somewhere around July that we, and I appreciate those. I just put out an email, had about 5 or 6 individuals that decided to be on this committee. Can they stand up? Can all the ones on the committee, these are the ones that reached out to me and said, John, we're going to help you. We're going to be behind you. We're going to trailblaze. We're going to climb mountains. We're going to bust through walls, and we're going to make this happen. And so I really appreciate them. I've had just several quick meetings, at the kind of spare of the moment, and they've been willing to jump on Zoom calls, and we've tried to hash this out. And so it's not, 100% together like I'd like it to be, but again, we've just been quickly putting this together. So we have about 3 or 4 fundraisers that we want to talk about that we're going to roll out. We may do some more later on, but we just tried to come together on about 3 or 4 of them that we could talk about today, and then look forward to emails about more we're going to do. So first one is going to be Jennifer. And Jennifer, when you come up, just tell the people how long you've been to the library, about yourself, and then roll right into the fundraiser that we're going to do.
Thank you. I'm Jennifer. I'm from the Acquisitions Department. I'm going to stand on my tiptoes because the microphone's taller than me. Javon's saying I can pull it down. I'm afraid I'll get feedback. Okay, are we good to go? Okay, I'm from currently in the Acquisitions Department. I don't want to tell you how long I've been here. It's been a few years. I've been in a few positions throughout the library, so I've had a chance to visit with many of you on different committees and whatnot. I'm excited to be involved in the United Way this year because I'm a big believer that great libraries build great communities, and this is one of the ways that we support our community in so many different ways. It's a way that we give back to the people that we know from our own communities who just maybe are looking for an extra hand, who go through some circumstances, and just support a lot of the things that we believe in already. Amanda said that we are already one of the top campaigns, and I will say that one of the things that I learned was that in previous years, our goal has been $10,000. That is a huge amount coming from our organization. Y'all are clapping, but we set the bar higher this year. We want to go 50% higher. We want to go, it's a huge amount, but we know the impact that inflation is taking on all of us, so of course it's taking its toll on all of the organizations that we support, and we believe that we can make it to that 15,000 mark. This relies on you, and so I get to start off talking about some of the fun ways that we're coming up with for you guys to get involved in giving back to our community. And the first one is my personal favorite, and it's the cutest pet contest. This has been immensely popular for us in previous years because who doesn't love to just look at all the furry friends? So we're gonna ask you for a $5 entry fee per pet, and then the winner, and then we'll send all of your pictures out and let your TCCL peers vote. And then the winner of the cutest pet contest will get a $25 gift card of their own choosing, plus a special treat for your little buddy. So look for details from me about that coming in September, and start teaching your pals to pose for the camera. And I'm gonna turn it over now to Michelle. We came up with a new and I think even more exciting fundraiser for this year, and so Michelle's gonna get to tell you about that.
Good morning. I've been at TCCL for 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in March. So for those of you I've not met, I'm Michelle Morris. I'm delivery driver for the Northern Branches, and I would like to announce one of our exciting opportunities for this year's campaign. Are you the one that works in the evening shift and can never find a parking spot? Do you wake up at late and when you get to work, you can't find a parking spot? That was me this morning, by the way. Just saying. Did someone take your favorite spot? Do you wish you could have a spot that was in the shade? Do you hate walking in the wind, the rain, splashing through the mud and the muck? Well, I have a deal for you. We're having a raffle to win a reserved parking space of your choice at your branch. With your donation, you will enter for a chance to win your very own VIP spot for 1 calendar year. Hopefully starting August the 28th, we'll have a website going. You can enter as many times as you want. The more times you enter, the better chance you have to win. The drawing will be closed and held at the Staff Development Day. And if you have any questions, let me know. Your own reserved VIP spot. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I think most of the people here know me. I have been the chair for the United Way Committee for the last 4 years-ish. I think maybe Jen was in there somewhere in between as well. So today I wanted to talk to you about something new that we're doing this year with Tulsa City County Library. So everybody knows that everybody here wears a lanyard. And everybody who wears a lanyard also knows that everybody puts pins on their lanyard. So what we wanted to do this year was incentivize donating by offering a commemorative pin for the star givers. That means if you if you pledge $25 a month or more, you will get a limited edition 2023. Nobody else is gonna get it. You can't get it next year. You can't get it for donating last year. It is only this year. And the design is a surprise, but also we haven't designed it yet, so we'll get back to you on that one. But yes, so if you pledge to donate $25 a month or more, you will be receiving a commemorative 2023 Star Giver pin that you can then put on your lanyard and sport around your branches. And I think that is it from me, and I'm going to turn it over to Dan Belleville. He's going to come up and give a little rah-rah speech, guys. Let's go.
Thank you very much for having me up here. I volunteered to be a part of the United Way team with John, and I spent 6 years as a Tulsa Public Schools teacher. So I saw McLean up there. I work down the street at North Star Academy. next door to Miss Sherry at the library. So I want to give her a shout out over at Suburban Acres. And one thing that I'm aware of, I grew up in a single parent household since I was 9. I had 2 younger brothers. I now have 3 kids of my own. And one thing that I learned, there's a book by Ruby K. Payne called Understanding Poverty. You can overcome whatever it is. And I know there's certain things that we saw up here. Every day we see it on the streets, we see it, I've seen it with kids that I taught, is mentorship. And a lot of the programs on that pamphlet, I've either been associated with personally, or I'm very familiar with because I've donated my time and talent, like Tulsa Day Center. I've gone down there. When I moved here from St. Louis in 2016, I helped the people that were sitting there, from their little store shop where you can get items to the food they provide to the cots that they have. And in thinking about all that, there's big brothers and big sisters. I attended their fundraising dinner last week at Southern Tulsa Country Club Hills. And what Elizabeth said was that 50% of what United Way does funnels into these programs. So because there's a lack of resources, and like someone said, yes, times can be tough with inflation, but it's really important that we just keep it at heart, that what we can do to help others less fortunate. But if nothing else, there's always your time and talent. You can donate that. So if the money is something that's hard for you right now, you can look at going down to the Tulsa Day Center. They'll always have needs for you to go down and help those that are less fortunate. And so this is my rallying the troops speech. And I really think that even the YMCA, my sons played soccer there, great organization. Last year, my son participated in Boy Scouts. He just turned 6. These are all great programs. And I haven't touched all of them, but City here, in general, that is represented here today, has a big partnership with Tulsa Public Schools. So once again, I just want to say, just consider donating. If it's something that's maybe out of your reach right now, maybe think about donating your time and talent, because that's just as important. And thank you very much, and I'm going to hand it back over to John.
I think the guys, the team, straighten my language up, Carrie, did a great job. They just got their marching orders actually this morning. I sent out the agenda and said, this is what I need you to do, and I think they did a wonderful job. Come on, let's give them one more hand clap. Again, so we're trying to raise $15,000, so we up in the ante a little bit from what we've done in the past, and so everybody just come together, pledge, give your money, try to get the parking space, try to win the cute pet contest, any of these things. So now we're gonna enter, I guess, question and answers. Mike, if you wanna come back up, anybody have any questions about anything? And then after that, we'll, the Day of Caring? Yes. Well, I'm gonna let you talk about the Day of Caring.
As you guys know, or you may not know, in years prior, there is always a United Way Day of Caring. They have split it up into various days so that various organizations can participate throughout the year. But actually, you might know when Day of Caring is this year.
September 15th.
Yes.
Perfect. That sounds right to me.
Yes, that is right.
September 15th, and we will be signing up for a project. I don't believe we've been paired yet with an organization, but we assemble a group together, we go out, and basically you just donate your time that day to a partner agency in need, and it's always a really rewarding experience. You always learn something new, you always see something that you've never seen before, or get to experience something that you might not get to experience otherwise. So I highly encourage everybody to look out for the Day of Caring volunteer email and to volunteer your time and come experience something with us. And I think with that, we're gonna turn it now back over to Mike so he can do a Q&A. I think she had to step out right quick.
I'm gonna come up too, so that way if you have multiple questions for us, we can just all be available as resources for you. Questions that you guys might want to start with about United Way, the campaign, our partner agencies, anything like that? A lot of the information will be in the brochure. So if you do have questions, the brochure, remember my last name is Lager, Lager, just like the beer, so I'm really easy to find on the website. So just type that in and it'll pull up my contact information. One thing I did want a point of clarification, when we talk about the 55% information that I mentioned earlier, that 55% statistic is actually what individuals are giving. So what we raise overall, 55% of that is raised by individuals like you. So we've got those large organizations out there who give donations, but just wanted to reiterate that not 50% of what we raise goes back into the community. 55% of our total comes from people like you. So thank you so much. Yes. It's about 13% that we keep to do our internal running and fundraising, our internal operations and overhead costs, and also to be able to have the United Way logo information. So, which I think for a nonprofit is pretty. I'm glad to say that number because I know that doesn't exist for every nonprofit out there. So, any other questions? Any questions for Amanda on the county running side of anything at all? No? All right. Again, thank you guys so much for having us out. I appreciate everything you do every year. I know, John, it's going to be like having a second job, so thank you so much. I know there are other individuals who are familiar with that in the room as well, so thank you for all you do. Appreciate you.
Okay, we're going to be able to give you some of your time back. So thank you all for coming out, and please pledge and join in on the fundraisers, and I'll see you around. Thank you.